The person who forgives too quickly does not do it out of kindness. They do it to avoid the weight of the truth. You watch them smile, nod, accept the apology before the words are even finished, and you wonder why it feels hollow. It is not the act of forgiveness that unsettles you. It is the speed, the absence of pause, the way the mind moves from accusation to absolution without passing through the space where doubt lives. This is not about the person who wronged them. It is about the person who cannot tolerate the idea that they were wronged at all. The halo effect does not require charm. It requires only that the forgiver prefers the illusion of harmony to the discomfort of conflict. The smile, the soft voice, the immediate pardon, these are not signs of mercy. They are signs of a mind that has already decided the cost of truth is too high. The pattern begins early. The child who learns that anger is dangerous, that disagreement is rejection, that their own boundaries are less important than keeping the peace. They do not learn this through words. They learn it through silence. The parent who withdraws affection when the child protests. The teacher who praises compliance over curiosity. The friend who vanishes after the first argument. The message is clear. Your discomfort is a problem. Your needs are an inconvenience. The only way to be loved is to pretend you do not feel what you feel. This is not weakness. It is adaptation. The child who learns to forgive too quickly is not broken. They are efficient. They have calculated the cost of honesty and found it too high. They have learned that the world rewards those who do not make waves. So they smooth the edges. They swallow the words. They forgive before they are asked. Because the alternative is to admit that the relationship is not what they thought it was. And that admission is more painful than the original wound. The pattern does not disappear in adulthood. It only becomes more sophisticated. The intelligent person does not forgive out of naivety. They forgive out of strategy. They have read the studies. They know about cognitive dissonance. They understand that holding on to resentment is bad for their health. So they rationalize. They tell themselves they are choosing peace. They tell themselves they are the bigger person. They do not say the quiet part out loud. That they are afraid of what happens if they stop forgiving. That the alternative is not justice. The alternative is loneliness. The high achiever forgives differently. They do not forgive out of fear. They forgive out of pride. They have built their identity on being the person who rises above. The person who does not hold grudges. The person who is too evolved for petty conflicts. They forgive because not forgiving would force them to admit that they are not as strong as they pretend to be, that they are just as vulnerable as everyone else, that the armor they have spent years constructing is thinner than they thought. The person who has read about the halo effect is the most dangerous of all. They know the mechanism, they can name it, they can explain it to others, and yet they still fall for it, because knowing is not the same as feeling. Because the mind that understands the pattern is not the same mind that experiences the emotion. They can describe the way the halo bleeds across judgment. They can cite the studies. They can warn others. But when the moment comes, when the smile is warm and the voice is soft, they still forgive. They still reorganize the facts. They still perform innocence on behalf of the person who does not deserve it. The cost is not in the moment. It is in the accumulation. The small betrayals that go unacknowledged, the relationships that survive on the surface but rot beneath, the identity that erodes, one unspoken truth at a time. The person who forgives too quickly does not lose their temper. They lose their self-respect. They lose the ability to trust their own judgment. They lose the right to say no. And one day, they wake up and realize they do not recognize the person they have become. The person who smiles when they should be angry. The person who agrees when they should walk away. The person who has spent years protecting everyone but themselves. You thought of someone else just now. That is the mechanism working. You are thinking of the friend who always forgives their toxic partner. The co-worker who never stands up to the boss. The family member who pretends everything is fine. But the pattern is not theirs. It is yours. You have already applied it to 3 other people. That is how the mind protects itself. It redirects the observation outward. It turns the mirror into a window. The child who learns to forgive too quickly does not unlearn it. They refine it. They become the person who can justify anything, who can explain away the worst behavior, who can turn a predator into a misunderstood soul, who can look at the evidence and still choose the story that lets them sleep at night. This is not forgiveness. It is self-deception. And the person who does it best is the one who believes they are too smart to be fooled. I do not have this pattern. I have only watched it. What I find remarkable is how little knowing that changes anything for the person who does. They can describe the mechanism in perfect detail. They can see it happening in real time. And yet, when the moment comes, they still forgive. They still smile. They still perform innocence. The knowledge does not free them. It only makes them more aware of their own complicity. The rare person who breaks the pattern does not do it through insight. They do it through pain. The moment when the cost becomes too high, when the relationship collapses under the weight of unspoken truths, when the job is lost because they never said no, when the friend vanishes because they were never really there. That is the moment when the pattern shatters, not because they finally understood, but because they finally felt. Most people do not break the pattern. They adjust it. They forgive less often. They set boundaries. They learn to say no. But the core remains. The fear of conflict, the need for harmony, the belief that their discomfort is the problem. They do not become honest. They become more selective about who they lie to. The halo that forgives is not about the person who benefits from it. It is about the person who extends it, the one who would rather be deceived than admit they were wrong, the one who would rather forgive a monster than face the fact that they misjudged, the one who would rather live in the illusion of safety than confront the truth of danger. The monster does not need to hide. He only needs to be charming. The forgiver does not need to be naive. They only need to prefer the story where they are not the fool. And so the cycle continues. The smile, the soft voice, the immediate pardon, the mind that moves from accusation to absolution without passing through the space where doubt lives. The last thing you will do is admit that you have been doing this your whole life. That the person you thought you were, the honest one, the strong one, the one who sees clearly, is the same person who has been forgiving the unforgivable. That the halo is not out there, it is in you, and the only way to see it is to stop forgiving, not the other person, yourself.